Okay. Anybody want to make a motion to accept the minutes?
Yeah, I'll move that we accept the minutes from the June 13th meeting prior to town meeting.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Okay.
Now, Jim gave me these. I'll just read them. There's no copies. It's pretty easy. I'll read it and then you can look at it.
Okay.
The assessors, he's requesting $3,000 transferred from the assessor's clerk's salary to assessor's purchase service. And it was to hire a lady to come in to get the files transferred over to Carrie so she could print the tax bills.
Okay.
Transfer, can I just?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm gonna read it and then you can
Okay.
look at it.
So I'll make a motion to
Just hold on, just
Oh,
one. Let her read.
give her a chance.
Yep.
Oh, no, you can do it.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Go ahead.
You good?
No, she can write it and then we'll do, there's only 5, so.
Okay.
It should be short and sweet. And then you can hold it, and then if it's approved, you can sign it, she can sign it and come back to me,
Okay.
okay? Hey,
Good
Deborah.
afternoon, Jim.
Hello.
Got the gist of it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we transfer $3,000 from the assistant clerk salary line, for the assessors, I'm sorry, for the assessors clerk salary line to the assessor purchase service line.
It tells you training.
Oh, and
For training
for
services.
professional and services and training.
I'll make a second. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye?
So you need to sign board member initials.
The initials, okay. Okay. Yep.
No, that's down the bottom is us. We're down the bottom, that's a selectman.
Oh, my apologies.
Yep. Yeah, usually we do it first, that's why.
Oh, yeah, they got.
They
got
had
this,
pre-done
right,
it, that's right, okay. Okay, thank you, Madeline, for setting us straight there.
Okay. Today's the 17th.
Mhm.
Sign my life away. Okay. The second one is also from the assessor's clerk salary to assessor's mapping, $2,300, and it was for mapping services and was.
Assessor's clerk salary
Mhm.
to mapping?
Yep. Because those bills, remember we had talked about them,
Mhm.
and apparently they needed to be paid. So the account was short next,
Okay.
and I know next year's, but that's not for you to worry about. We'll deal with it
Where that's one of
next year. Okay, somebody want to make a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we transfer $2,300 from the assessor's clerk salary line item, or line, to the assessor's mapping line. And that's for mapping services.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, down the bottom, yep. Thank you. This was 2,300. Okay, the next one is from the Board of Selectmen. Request $17,000 from the facilities custodial salary to legal expenses. And the request is because of ongoing litigation costs.
The legal expenses are getting out of hand.
Well, it is. Well, that's because they cut it too last year. They should have left it 100,000 and it probably wouldn't have been an issue.
But we already pushed 25,000 earlier this year for that. Is there any,
20.
I'm pretty sure it was
I
25.
think it was 20.
It was
So,
20.
It was
I don't-
20?
If it was out of the,
It was
We did a line
the
item.
rat.
it was RAD, it was 20.
20.
It was 20?
Yeah, because we have 20
All
back
right,
in the account.
that's fine.
Yeah. Where are they at? Is
Are
one
we at
month-
where are we at, if I can ask?
So, there's currently about $10,000 left in the account. I'm anticipating about, see, the problem is that bills have not come out yet for May, okay? So we just paid April's bills, so I have May invoices for KP, and I have May invoices for Merrick. And then I'm gonna have June invoices for both of the same as well. So, currently, I think that there's anticipated about 7,500 for Merrick, and then about $3,000 for KP for the month of May. And then June, I would anticipate KP to be up there a little bit higher because of the town meeting and some work that they did on the articles, on some of the articles, as well as some work that they did for a purchase and sales agreement, a potential purchase and sales agreement. So there's that, along with some of the closeout work from Merrick for a Coparts matter, for a solar matter, ZPT solar, and as well as a tree hearing, a couple of tree hearings for ASD, Cronin Road.
What's a tree hearing?
Tree hearing is a shade hearing, that's for allowing the cutting of shade trees.
Oh, okay.
So June, I don't know, but I would anticipate, this is a best guesstimate. This is nothing that's a guarantee, so.
So
I
we're
mean,
winding down.
I-
So what do you want to know? We're winding down
we're-
on the two solar one, the solar in Copart, right?
Copart is going to be resolved
Okay. That's
as
one.
soon as the amended decision is signed
Okay.
and filed with the court. That will be resolved. ASD Cronin Road should be resolved after these tree hearings that we just had. And we're working, to try to get this ZPT matter resolved.
So two should be done. The
So-
one is-
ZPT's the one that's direct.
So, with Merrick, there's a possibility that the cases could all be resolved relatively soon, within the next few months.
So just for the record, I'll say this, in the last 3 fiscal years, $200,000, just shy of $200,000, I don't have the number right in front of me, but I'm certain of this one, because I just added up the numbers myself last week. Just shy of $200,000 has been spent on Merrick O'Connell alone.
And Merrick O'Connell, just to be clear on what their responsibility is to handle land use planning board matters.
Right.
So that's their chief
Yeah.
function. They are not general legal counsel for the town.
Right. I would be willing and happy to approve money for KP Law. I don't know, the way this is structured is that well, let me ask a question. Is there a way to structure this so that KP Law could have funding, but a limit put on Merrick O'Connell? I suspect not, but I want to ask the question.
It's too late now.
Well,
If we had
that's-
done this earlier,
We've already
yes.
done it.
If it had been back at the beginning of May, yes.
Okay. So, again, when we had this matter come up before on the $20,000 line item transfer earlier in the year, I had reservations then. I continue to have the reservations. And I'll just say this, is that this is the last line item transfer I will ever consider. There's way too much money by the town being spent on legal issues. I understand there has to be some legal fees involved with running a town or any entity, corporation, enterprise, etc. But I didn't know this was coming today, or I would have been more prepared to speak against it. So I feel caught between doing what's right for the town to have their legal expenses paid, but I'm very much against all the money that's been spent on Miracle County. So I'll just say that for the record. And with that, I'll make a motion to transfer $17,000 from the Board of Selectmen's facilities custodian salary line to their legal expenses line for ongoing litigation.
I'll second that. All in favor? Aye.
Aye. So, sorry. Not happy at all about that. It's a good thing I didn't know about it.
I just got them today.
I'm not blaming anyone here
No,
for
I'm
that.
just saying, I'm just letting you know.
It's not happy.
17.
That's only an estimate, so, you know,
They can't
It's
spend any
okay,
more than that.
it's okay. I've said what I need to say
Yeah.
about it.
No, but they can't
No.
spend any more.
Yeah, but now they'll get
well, I mean.
You can't spend any more,
No, but I mean.
this fiscal year.
y-
then next
There could be
year-
another request.
not for this year.
Sure they could,
Well,
Okay, for July, you're talking about for July?
right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm just forewarning you, okay, and this is what you need to find out,
Mhm.
because he's gonna vote against it, and I'm gonna vote against it.
And I'm
Okay.
gonna vote against it.
And she will too.
Uh-huh.
So you need to contact Norick and tell him to stop spending. We had talked about that a long time ago.
just,
Well, it's our goal that, you know,
They can do it in July.
that it can be resolved.
I
you know.
understand, but they can
Um,
stop now and finish it in July, where there's more money.
I think what's being said, Jim, is simply, if you can take the message back to whoever needs to hear it, that Warren's Finance Committee is not willing to keep spending money on legal matters.
Okay.
That's all we're saying.
Yeah.
No fault of yours, you're just.
I'll mention it in my report to the selectmen this
Well,
week.
because they better know
Yeah.
that you've already been told, we're not gonna,
Yeah.
they have to stop spending. Next year's budget got increased by 25, so if these two, at least 2 out of the 3 is
I mean,
resolved,
it-
then there should be plenty left next year.
Well, I mean, I don't necessarily say it was increased by 25, I mean, that's.
cut it
that-
back.
Yeah, but that, it should have never been cut back
Right,
in the
but the
first place.
selectmen agreed.
Okay, I think, I don't know.
But
if
17
I
plus
remember-
20 is 37, so
No.
they were still 12,000 over.
Yeah, about 12,000, yeah.
Yes, it is. I can add
Just-
Yeah.
Just let them know that
that we're not
they
giving any
need
more
to,
this year.
they need to keep a little tighter rein on that, that's all.
Okay. So the next request came from Adam, and he's requesting $2,082 from the ambulance call wages to the vehicle maintenance and expense. It's paying for unexpected repair to engine 3. He said our engine 3 has needed 2 recent repairs that occurred at the end of the fiscal year. The first I was able to cover, but do not have enough for the second repair. So there were 2 repairs, big repairs, and
He unfortunately can't be here this afternoon. He did inform me that he wanted to be here, but unfortunately, he's under the weather today. And he did brief me on it, if you have any questions. These were some much-needed emergency repairs that needed to take place on the vehicle that weren't anticipated, that needed to be addressed in order for the vehicle to be operable.
I'll make a motion to approve the transfer.
okay.
Okay, I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, final one, and Jim will explain to you what this is all about, but the Council on Aging is requesting $600 from their COA van driver to go to the maintenance purchase supply lines, and it is for fence soundproofing insulation. And Jim.
So, we had received, I had received several complaints, from one particular neighbor that I believe lives, on, Chapel Street, that abuts the senior center. And his complaint was, his chief primary complaint was, he cannot enjoy his backyard because of the loud noise that the HVAC unit at the senior center produces. Now, he is the only gentleman that has complained to me about this. The HVAC unit has been there for about 20 years. You know, it comes on, it comes off. You know, it's not on for, you know, all day. It's maybe on for 20 minutes and then it turns off, and then maybe in an hour or two it goes back on for 20 minutes and turns off. And so, to mitigate this concern, I had talked to Jeremy, our highway surveyor, Jeremy Olson, and he had indicated that he could potentially get some type of slats that are, you know, that you can get at Lowe's or one of the hardware supply stores, and put the slats in between the chain link fence. It's a chain link fence that goes around the HVAC unit, and if you put the slats in between there, it's our hope that, you know, some of this sound will be diverted to, you know, will be mitigated somewhat, you know, and bounce off of these slats instead of going intruding into the guy's quality of life in his backyard. Now, the gentleman that has complained about this has also put up probably about, I don't know, 50 or 60 tires, which, you know, I think would be, you know, illegal to do in your backyard as like a sound barrier. So, you know, I hope that the gentleman removes the tires because of the safety issues that the tires pose, being on that many in an area right there. And I hope that this will, you know, mitigate the problem until, you know, we're coming up with a more permanent solution down there. And I think the more permanent solution will be if and when we replace the HVAC unit that's down there.
Yeah. I remember this coming up some time ago at select board meeting, so. I'll make a motion that there be a $600 transfer from the Council on Aging's van driver line to the Council on Aging's maintenance purchase supply/service line for fence soundproofing for the HVAC unit.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Possible next meeting date would be July 11th, 2024, date to be determined. I know Jim put out an email to everybody requesting if anything, so this could be our final meeting, but we may have to have one more. And we'll wait and see what time would be determined, so that would be some Monday meeting, right? No, it's a Thursday meeting, so, I would, where I'm leaning to, if it's possible, to have, it in the morning,
Whatever you want.
and that way there I can go back, you know.
In all likelihood, any time would be fine.
Yeah, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
because,
Me also.
you know, my plan is, unless this happens, I don't have any reason to have to drive back down.
Get back
I mean,
here.
knock on wood, you know, I mean,
Yeah.
you know, if something happened, then of course it would, but
Right.
that would be.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Sounds good.
I could go on forever, so just ignore me.
So, any other, any comments, concerns, or, okay?
So that would be a meeting, so potentially if there was a request, then that evening, the selectmen would have an so you guys wouldn't meet at the same time as the
Right.
selectmen, you would meet in the morning and then it would get transferred over to
Right.
the selectmen. Okay.
Yep.
Yep. So if there's nothing further, then I'll make a motion to adjourn at 3:52.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye? Okay.
What time is it?
3:52.